You spend 20 years climbing a mountain. Not a small hill, but a real mountain. A massive one. Every single step is hard. Your legs burn. Your lungs ache. The summit is often hidden by clouds, and sometimes you wonder if you're even on the right path. You're tired. You doubt yourself. You see other people who seem to be climbing faster, or who started higher up, and you feel like you're barely moving. And then, finally, after years of effort, you reach the top. But instead of stopping, instead of the journey being over, something unexpected happens. You suddenly start going downhill. Not backwards, but forward, down the other side. And it's faster. Easier. Almost without effort. The momentum that was fighting against you on the way up is now carrying you forward. Each step covers more ground than the last. That's exactly how money works. That's the hidden shape of wealth. The first dollar is the hardest. The first 10,000 feels like a miracle. The first 100,000 feels like it took forever. The first million feels impossible for most people. But the second million? The second one feels unfairly easy. It seems to happen almost by magic, with far less effort than the first. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens. I'm going to reveal the invisible curve that separates the wealthy from everyone else. I'm going to explain why most people never, ever reach this point, even when they do everything right. And I'm going to show you the one specific moment, the tipping point, where everything changes and money stops being something you chase and starts being something that chases you. Most people believe something that sounds completely logical. They believe this. To become rich, I need to earn more money. If I just get a higher salary, if I just get a better job, if I just work more hours, I'll eventually have enough. It sounds obvious, right? More money in equals more wealth out. But this belief is fundamentally wrong. It's one of the biggest traps in personal finance. Because wealth is not built by income alone. Income is just the fuel. The engine that turns fuel into wealth is something completely different. Wealth is built by two things working together: time and compounding. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible, the way you'd explain it to a child. Imagine you plant a tiny seed in your backyard. An acorn, maybe. On day 1, you water it, and you look. Nothing. On day 30, you water it, and you look. Still nothing. A tiny sprout might be there, but it's barely visible. After a full year, it's still just a small, unimpressive sapling. You might look at it and think, this isn't working. This was a waste of time. I should have spent this energy on something else. But you can't see what's happening underground. While you were looking at the surface, the roots were growing. They were spreading deep and wide, anchoring the tree, building the infrastructure that would one day support a massive trunk and a sprawling canopy. The tree was working, it was just working invisibly. Money works the exact same way. For a long time, it feels like nothing is happening. You can't see the roots. You can't feel the compounding. You just see a tiny seed and you get discouraged. But if you keep watering it, if you keep adding to it, the roots grow. And one day, the tree explodes upward. Let's make this real. Let's create a person and follow his journey over decades. We'll call him Elon. Not the famous one, just a regular guy. Elon is smart. He's hardworking. He's disciplined. He's the kind of person who does everything right. He graduates college, gets a decent job, and decides early on that he wants to build wealth for his future. At age 25, he starts investing. He doesn't have much, but he's consistent. Every single month, without fail, he puts money into a simple, boring stock market index fund. Sometimes it's $500. Sometimes, when he gets a bonus or lives frugally, it's $1,000. He never stops. He's like the person watering the seed every single day. But after 5 years of this, at age 30, he looks at his account, and it still looks small. He's been investing for half a decade, and the number feels disappointing. He does the math and realizes that most of the balance is just the money he personally put in. The growth, the compounding part, is almost invisible. After 10 years, at age 35, it's better. The number has grown. But it's still not life-changing. He has a decent nest egg, but it's not enough to make a real difference in his daily life. He can't quit his job. He can't retire early. He still has to work just as hard as everyone else. After 15 years, at age 40, doubt starts to creep in. He's been doing this for a decade and a half. He's been consistent, disciplined, patient. He's done everything the books and the experts told him to do. And yet, his portfolio, while respectable, still feels far from the kind of wealth he dreamed about. And this is exactly where most people quit. The beginning of the investing journey is brutal. It's not just hard, it's psychologically painful. Why? Because your money isn't big enough yet to make a difference. The returns are mathematically real, but they feel emotionally insignificant. Let's look at the numbers. When you have $10,000 invested, a great year in the stock market might be a 10% return. 10% of $10,000 is $1,000. That's nice. It's a nice bonus. But it's not changing your life. It's not paying your rent. It's not giving you freedom. When you have $50,000 invested, a 10% return gives you $5,000. Better. That's a decent vacation or a used car. But it's still not life-changing. You still have to wake up and go to work every single day. When you have $100,000 invested, a 10% return gives you $10,000. Now we're talking about real money. But it took years, maybe a decade, to get to $100,000. And $10,000 a year, while helpful, is still not enough to live on. It's a supplement, not a salary. This phase feels slow, invisible, almost pointless. Your brain, which is wired for immediate rewards, looks at the account and says, "Is this it? After all that effort, this is all I get?" And this is the most dangerous phase of the entire journey. Because it tricks you into thinking that the whole thing is a scam. It tricks you into thinking, this doesn't work. I should stop investing and just enjoy my money now. Most people stop here. They quit not because they're lazy, not because they're undisciplined, but because they have the wrong mental model. They expect results to be linear. They think, if I invest $500 a month for 10 years, I'll have $60,000 plus some growth. Then if I invest $500 a month for another 10 years, I'll have another $60,000 plus growth. It's just addition. But money doesn't grow in a straight line. It doesn't grow like a salary, where you work X hours and get Y dollars. It grows like a curve. Imagine drawing a graph. On the bottom is time. On the side is money. For a long time, the line is almost flat. It barely moves upward. You could look at it and think nothing is happening. But then, at a certain point, the line starts to bend. Slowly at first, then faster, then incredibly fast. It curves upward like a hockey stick. Flat, 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 then suddenly, up. The people who quit early only see the flat part. They never stay long enough to see the curve. Let me give you a better way to visualize this. Forget graphs and numbers for a moment. Imagine a snowball. Imagine you're standing at the top of a long, snowy hill. You take a tiny handful of snow and you pack it into a small ball. Then you place it on the snow and give it a gentle push. At first, the snowball is tiny. It rolls slowly. It barely picks up any snow because it's so small. You could watch it for minutes and feel like it's not growing at all. You might get bored and walk away. But if you keep watching, something changes. As it gets slightly bigger, it collects slightly more snow with each rotation. That makes it slightly bigger, which allows it to collect even more snow. It's a feedback loop. Eventually, the snowball is huge. It's no longer just rolling, it's thundering down the hill, growing exponentially with every revolution. And at a certain point, you're not pushing it anymore. The snowball is so massive and has so much momentum that it's rolling by itself. You're just watching it grow on its own. That's compounding. That's how wealth works. The first layer of snow is the hardest. The last layer adds more mass than all the previous ones combined. There's a simple mathematical concept that explains this perfectly. It's called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 tells you how long it will take for your money to double at a given rate of return. You simply take 72 and divide it by your expected annual return. If you expect to earn 7% on your investments, 72 divided by 7 is about 10.3 years. Your money doubles roughly every 10 years. If you expect to earn 10%, which is close to the historical average of the stock market, 72 divided by 10 is 7.2 years. Your money doubles roughly every 7 years. Now, watch what happens when you apply this rule to a growing sum of money. Watch how the numbers accelerate. Let's say you start with $100,000. It took you years, maybe a decade, to save that first $100,000. It was hard. It was slow. But now, the rule of 72 kicks in. After about 7 years at 10% growth, that $100,000 doubles to $200,000. You didn't have to save the second $100,000. The market did it for you. After another 7 years, the $200,000 doubles to $400,000. Your money is now growing faster than you could ever save. After another 7 years, the $400,000 doubles to $800,000. The growth in this single 7-year period is more than your entire initial nest egg. After another 7 years, the $800,000 doubles to $1.6 million. Do you see the pattern? The first doubling took you from $100,000 to $200,000. The last doubling took you from $800,000 to $1.6 million. The absolute gain in the last period is 8 times larger than the gain in the first period, even though the percentage return was exactly the same. This is the magic. This is why the second million is easier than the first. This is why the snowball accelerates. Something magical, almost mystical, happens when your portfolio crosses the $1 million line. It's not just a round number, it's a threshold where the mathematics of wealth start to feel completely different. Let's do the math with Elon. Imagine Elon, after 20 or 25 years of consistent investing, finally reaches $1 million. It was a long, hard road. There were years when the market went down and he lost money. There were years when he doubted everything. But he stayed the course, and now he's there. Now, let's assume he continues to earn a reasonable return. Let's be conservative and say 7% or 8%, not even the historical average. At $1 million, an 8% return is $80,000 per year. A 10% return, which is closer to the historical average, is $100,000 per year. Think about that. $100,000 per year. That is a full salary. That's more than most people in America earn from their full-time jobs. But here's the crucial part. Elon didn't work extra hours to earn that $100,000. He didn't ask his boss for a raise. He didn't start a side business. He didn't hustle or grind. He didn't do anything. His money did it for him. His portfolio, the snowball he built over decades, now generates more income than he could realistically save from his salary. The servant has become the master. The tool has become the engine. This is the moment. This is the tipping point. This is where everything changes. Before this moment, for the first 20 years of his journey, Elon worked for money. Every dollar in his portfolio was a dollar he had earned, saved, and invested. His labor was the source. His time was the input. After this moment, After crossing the threshold, money starts working for Elon. His portfolio now generates more in a good year than he can save from his paycheck. His money is now working harder than he is. This is the shift that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else. It's not about having a big house or a nice car. It's about reaching the point where your capital, your accumulated wealth, is the primary engine of your financial life, not your labor. Before the shift, you are the worker. After the shift, your money is the worker. And you become the manager. Let's continue Elon's story with some specific numbers to make this real. Elon started investing at 25. He was disciplined, but he wasn't a financial genius. He just consistently put money into the market, increasing his contributions as his income grew. From age 25 to 35, his first decade, his portfolio grew slowly. By 35, he had around $150,000. It felt like a letdown. He'd been saving for 10 years and had less than many people spend on a house. From 35 to 45, the second decade, things picked up slightly. By 45, he had around $500,000. Better, but still not freedom. He could see progress, but the finish line felt far away. From 45 to 50, the next 5 years, something shifted. His portfolio grew from $500,000 to about $800,000. The rate of growth was accelerating. And then, from 50 to 54, a 4-year period, his portfolio jumped from $800,000 to nearly $1.6 million. In just 4 years, his wealth increased by more than it had in the entire first 20 years combined. Same strategy. Same investments. Same person. No change in his saving rate. No sudden inheritance. No lucky stock pick. The only difference was the size of his money. The snowball had gotten big enough that it was now growing faster than he could ever contribute. The curve had bent. The hockey stick had arrived. Now, let's look at what happens after the shift, when money starts paying you. Elon is now 55. He has $1.6 million. He's still working, but he doesn't have to. He works because he wants to, not because he needs to. Even if he does nothing, even if he just puts his money in conservative investments, his portfolio generates income. A simple, safe 2% return on $1.6 million is $32,000 per year. That alone can cover a lot of basic living expenses. Groceries, utilities, insurance, maybe even property taxes. If he's willing to take a little more risk and aim for a 4% withdrawal rate, which is the standard rule of thumb for retirement, he can safely take out $64,000 per year without touching the principal. That's a comfortable middle-class lifestyle in many parts of the country. And if he keeps it invested in a balanced portfolio that averages 7 to 8% over time, he doesn't need to withdraw anything. He can just let it keep growing, getting larger and larger every year, building a legacy for his family or for causes he cares about. His money is no longer just growing. It's supporting his life. It's providing options. It's buying freedom. But here's where many people fail. They reach this point, they start seeing real money, and they make a fatal error. As their portfolio grows, their lifestyle grows too. They get the bigger house they always wanted. They buy the nicer car. They start spending more on restaurants, travel, and entertainment. They let their expenses climb to match their new, higher net worth. This is the equivalent of taking snow off your snowball and throwing it away. You stop the momentum. You kill the compounding. Because when you spend your investment gains instead of reinvesting them, the snowball stops growing. It might even shrink. You end up with a nice lifestyle, but you never reach the next level. You never get to the point where your money is working harder than you are. You plateau. The wealthy people who stay wealthy understand this. They don't increase their spending in proportion to their wealth. They let the snowball keep rolling. They let the compounding keep compounding. They delay gratification now for exponentially more freedom later. Here's something that might surprise you about people who have successfully built wealth over decades. Wealthy investors, the ones who made it and kept it, don't take more risks as they get richer. They take fewer risks. They become more conservative, not less. They don't chase the hottest new trend. They don't gamble on meme stocks or cryptocurrency. They don't try to time the market or predict the next crash. They don't listen to tips from friends or financial TV. Why? Because they don't need to. They already have a system that works. They already have compounding working for them. Taking excessive risk could destroy decades of progress. Why would they gamble what they have and need for what they don't have and don't need? The mindset of wealth is not about getting rich quick. It's about staying rich slowly. It's about protecting the snowball. It's about patience, discipline, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing the math is on your side. There's one more challenge that appears when your portfolio gets large. A psychological challenge. Fear. When you have $10,000 invested and the market drops 30%, you lose $3,000. It hurts, but it's not devastating. You can make that back with a few months of saving. When you have $1 million invested and the market drops 30%, you lose $300,000. That's a life-changing amount of money for most people. That's a house. That's decades of savings. Watching $300,000 disappear from your account, even on paper, even temporarily, is terrifying. The percentage loss is exactly the same. The emotional experience is completely different. This is where discipline matters most. This is where understanding the math, understanding that markets go up and down, understanding that your time horizon is decades, not days, is essential. The people who panic and sell during the drops lock in their losses. They break the snowball. The people who stay calm, who understand that drops are just part of the journey, who keep investing through the crashes, they are the ones who benefit from the recoveries. They are the ones who get the compounding. Let's simplify everything we've talked about into one single truth. One sentence that captures the entire secret. Wealth is built by three things, and none of them are genius or luck. Number 1. Staying consistent. Adding money to your investments month after month, year after year, through good times and bad, through bull markets and bear markets, through confidence and doubt. Number 2. Staying invested. Not selling when the market drops. Not trying to time your exits and entries. Just letting your money sit and work, year after year, decade after decade. Number 3. Staying patient. Understanding that the curve exists, that the hockey stick is real, that the first million is the hardest and the rest get easier. Waiting long enough for the roots to grow and the tree to emerge. Not being smart. Not being lucky. Not finding the right stock. Not timing the market perfectly. Just consistency, investment, and patience. The biggest tragedy in personal finance, the thing that breaks my heart, is this. People quit right before the breakthrough. They stop at $50,000 because it feels pointless. They stop at $100,000 because they need the money for something else. They stop at $300,000 because they get discouraged by a market drop. They stop at $500,000 because they think they'll never reach $1 million. They stop exactly where the curve is about to bend. They quit in the flat part, right before the hockey stick turns upward. They never get to experience the acceleration. They never feel what it's like to have money work for them. If you are anywhere on that journey, if you have any amount saved, if you've been investing for any length of time, please hear this. You are closer than you think. The hardest part is behind you. The flat part is almost over. The curve is coming. Here's the secret that no one talks about, the thing that isn't taught in schools, the knowledge that separates those who build wealth from those who don't. Compounding feels slow, boring, and invisible for a very long time. It feels like nothing is happening. It feels like you're wasting your time, Until one day, suddenly, it feels unstoppable. That day arrives differently for everyone. It depends on how much you save, how well you invest, and how long you wait. But it arrives for everyone who stays in the game long enough. On that day, you realize that your money is now growing faster than you can save. You realize that your portfolio is now generating more income than your job. You realize that you have options you never had before. You realize that you are no longer a slave to the paycheck. And on that day, everything changes. If you're still early in your journey, if you're in the flat part, if you're looking at your account and feeling discouraged, this is the hardest part. I won't pretend it's easy. But it's also the most important part. It's the part where roots are growing. It's the part where the foundation is being laid. It's the part that determines whether you'll ever see the curve. Because once you cross that invisible line, once the snowball gets big enough, everything changes. Your money grows faster. Your stress decreases. Your freedom increases. Your future becomes something you own, not something you hope for. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't let the flat part fool you. The curve is coming. If this video changed the way you think about money and investing, if it gave you hope or clarity or motivation, please hit that subscribe button right now. On this channel, we break down how money really works, not the myths we're taught. How ordinary people can escape financial traps and build real wealth. And the psychological shifts that separate those who succeed from those who struggle. New videos every week. And tell me in the comments, what part of your financial journey feels the hardest right now? Because chances are, after watching this video, you're closer than you think.